and then we'll get into. Do you guys have anything we need to go over before we recap? No? Cool.
Nope.
All right. Well then, would anybody like to do our recap of last session?
I can.
Love it. Take your inspiration in advance, because you always do just fine.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. The vote of confidence for the guaranteed reward. All right,
I do reserve the right to take
down.
it back. No.
We did stuff.
If you do a bad job, I will just remember to use my DM inspiration in this session. Anyway, off with you.
Let's see here. Flying off the cuff here. Let's see. We killed a cockatrice. Was where 2 sessions kind of ended before.
Mm-hmm.
Then we said, gee golly, we better go rest up a little bit. And we walked over into a room, and there were 2 stone statues of dogs. Not a big deal. Not
a big deal.
Concerning at all, really. Falvin went ahead and just sat on top of one. I didn't really say that during the session, but that's what was happening. That's why I was standing on top of one of them.
Totally.
So Falvin climbed up on one of them, kind of riding it like a dog. Suddenly, the transformation magic begins to break as we're trying to get a short rest in, and 2 Cerberus wake up, and they go into full bore attack mode. And unleash molten diarrhea attacks at us from their mouths. I mean, we'll be clear, it's coming right out as magma flow at us. We dispatched them readily, not that big a deal. I should say before that, we did attempt to capture some cockatrice. It didn't really go well, but we tried. We tried really hard, and they're too sneaky.
You guys did try.
We did, and it almost worked. And I was really excited about what's going to happen next. But next time, dogs die. We take short rest. We walk out into the hallway, and we're getting ready to go about our business. And then all of a sudden, the wall comes to life, as it were, in that it just explodes, and an Umberhulk appears and tries to eat Magus. Magus is knocked back some 10, 15 feet. The rest of us are like, oh, that looks bad. Umberhulk's like, I'm gonna kill you. And Shay's like, and I get in my stance. And Theo's like, and I'll run back over here and just snipe him. And then Falbin's like, no problem, I'll dagger him to the face. Falbin daggers him and then realizes, oh shit, this is something bigger. Also fails a charisma save and has a bit of a problem. Tries to kill Rue and misses. Suddenly, Falbin's like, I guess screw this. Dashes to the end of the corridor, looks around to check on the friends, and proceeds around the corner. Says goodbye. So the friends then are facing Umberhulk alone, realizing, oh shit, I guess we're man down. Magus is like, I guess it's my job. Stands up and casts Rhymes Binding Ice. Thin, frosty layer of ice locks that poor beast into stasis. Thing can't move. Thing wants to move. Doesn't matter. So then we take, I don't know, 34,000 attacks trying to hit it at disadvantage. It nearly breaks free from the 10-round rule because we just can't kill this motherfucker.
It was close.
Yeah, it was like round 8 or something. So we finally kill him, and then suddenly Falbin remembers that he has seen people wearing Umberhulk Karkai, and realizes we might be able to harvest some goodness, and sets to work trying to harvest the goodness. Shade, loving to cut up anything that moves, offers to help, and thus we harvest the carcass, the carapace, and we harvest the mandibles, and we harvest the claws, and then we go in to get the eye. And Falbin is still kind of suffering from that charisma fail on that roll, the wisdom saving thing, and he slices the eye, thinking about how he almost killed Rue, and then loses that goodness. So
we
that's
almost
kinda
got
sad.
it.
Yeah, but in the meantime, Falbin did get the guts, which he's going to use to make some pretty killer shaders here in a little bit.
Totally. Shaders.
Yeah, and we kind of realize, hey, drink up on potions. We rest up a little bit, and then we proceed down the hallway. Falbin's trying to sneak ahead, and he sees a dog and a giant dead dog that's been petted way too hard. And so as a result, Falbin goes ahead and sneaks attack, throws his dagger, and finds out that there's like 5 other dogs in the room.
A lot of dogs.
And then Falbin, being the one that's in front, decides not to be in front. Shade gets in front and does not get in stance. This is important. He's not in tunnel stance. We're in a tunnel. He failed to do that. So as a result, he misses out on several attacks that he could have gotten, and I'll make sure to let him know about that again next session.
It would have been great.
Could have optimized that a little bit more, right? We dispatched the dogs pretty readily. Not a whole lot happened there. We weren't really at risk. Managed our positioning pretty well. They tried to get around us and climb up the bridge, but Megas just magic darted the shit out of them. And then we move up. We investigate giant dog. Verily, he's been petted way too hard on his first of 3 heads. We don't really know what caused that. There's a giant opening in the cavern that appears to have claw marks. Probably a bronze helmet caused those. We don't know.
That's the most likely.
Most likely. We get like 12 dwarven heads. I hope Shade wrote it down. We're going to sell those for lots of money. Mount them or something.
26 total.
26, yeah. So we're probably going to mount at least one of them. We get into the elevator.
Watch that be like a DC 35 deception check, and then you make enemies of these dwarves forever.
What could go wrong, right? It's the way we found it. So we find the elevator, and it's made of copper, and it's pretty sparse inside. Got these beautiful 4 ornate dragon heads on the side. They look like it must be a dragon rider's home. So this is nothing untoward going on with this elevator.
Yep.
So all of us kind of eyeball the shaft that's going to let us go down the controls, and no one wants to pull it, so we shove Theo towards it, and he's like, sure, I'll do it. He pulls the lever, and then all of a sudden we realize, shit, probably should have checked for traps and stuff. The elevator's filling up with oil, and then before you know it, having a bit of a problem. Falbin, being the most valuable player on the team in this moment, decides that instead of trying to stem the flow, he's just going to cut the dragon heads off, and that's going to clearly help with the flow. So he tries to do that, fails miserably, and then it's Magus' turn, who wisely realizes that maybe we should stop the oil, because what comes after the oil might be bad. Casts Expeditious Retreat in quite a wonderful use case that I had not considered.
That was good magic.
Runs around the room, gets two of them stemmed. It might have been 6 dragon heads. It was 6.
4.
4? 4? Only 4?
Right in the middle. Well, it was 2. Would have been 2 in his action, and that doubled the amount.
Right. But there's 6 dragon heads total. He stemmed 4.
8 total.
8 total. Look at that. You guys know your stuff.
I like how we're correcting you when you've done so much in this recap. You have like reminded me of things that I forgot, and then we're like, idiot. It was 8.
It's important though, because of that, Megas got 4 of them, and then seeing the usage of stemming, Shade goes and follows suit, takes his bedroll, rips it into shreds, and stuffs it into 2 more dragon heads. And then, what did Theo do? I don't remember what Theo did this round.
Yes, people always forget what I did.
Theo hammered.
You were fiddling with the lever, weren't you?
Theo hammered some of the mouths.
Fondling the lever. Yes, during this whole thing, I was fondling the lever.
That's what I'm gonna
That's
remember.
what Theo was doing.
You're the damn one that pulled it.
As if being found under Cairo wasn't enough, he had to go and handle the lever.
Pulling the lever started this whole thing. Why wouldn't it end it?
Wow. So.
No, he was using his hammer and pythons to like close up the mouths and like jam them shut.
You damaged one and got it mostly shut up.
Yeah.
And then got back to be Falba's turn, and he took his bedroll and tried to cork up a couple more. At that point, we started hearing, and the dragons just start trying to spew fire. Instead of getting into the elevator and the pool of oil that's sitting on us, it just burns a little bit of what's in the mouth, and we avoid a very hot moment.
Yep, you did. You totally did.
That's basically the end of the session. The elevator stopped, and then Theo jumps out, and that's where we're at.
And said, "Fuck this elevator," and that is where we are. Do you want to know, like, because I love saying how things work, like, do you want to know what the damage would have been that you would have taken if you had failed?
1 trillion.
Yeah, about that. No, it was. Let's see, the door of an elevator. Anyone in the elevator takes 6d6 fire damage at the end of the 4th and 5th rounds, and then so twice.
Twice. Yeah, so that would have been most of us probably did.
Yeah.
No, just you.
Oh.
So I will say though the damage is reduced if the oil gets blocked by a certain round. Anyway.
So it would have been quite that bad.
Right. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, it would have been painful. Probably not a total wipe, but painful.
I'm glad we skipped it.
Yeah, totally. You guys did great. And like we said before, there is a way to not burn up every time you take the elevator. But actually, yeah. This is actually a virtual reality simulator for dragon riders to train. It's like a it's one of those where like you get the up and down
animal handling check.
Yeah.
When your dragon tries to burn you, this is what it feels like, and you need to be able to man through it.
Totally.
Yeah.
No.
Toughen up, Buttercup.
So the elevator after 6 rounds of movement, a chime sounds and the doors open, and I'll take you to the other level because we're on a new level of the map.
Oh no, I can see everything.
You can see everything?
I can. But I zoomed in, so I didn't see much.
Oh, I didn't know that was
hold
there.
on, what the hell? Come on, map.
Well, I can see everything here too.
No, you can't.
Oh, that's because we've been everywhere.
Right. Token vision. Why was token vision not on? God.
Oh my gosh.
God. Okay.
Are you spoiled, Megas?
God. Cool.
No, I didn't. I was zoomed in enough. I didn't see anything.
Okay.
Perfect.
Cool. How's that? Is that better?
Yep, I see an elevator.
Perfect. That's what we're looking for. Let me actually give you guys... No, never mind. So, you are spilled out of the elevator, the bronze dragon-themed dwarven elevator, and you are now in the lower level of the Mithril Forge, where the dwarves forge the magic items used by the Dragonlords to fight the armies of the Titans.
As I am prestidigitating myself clean,
Yes.
I say, like, there is no way that elevator is supposed to do that normally.
I feel like it's a convenient way to get cleaned and the next floor at the same time. Efficiency.
I mean, no, there has to be a way to take this elevator without that happening, and I want to investigate and see if there's something else besides just the lever.
I feel like it was working the way it should.
You want to do that right now before we?
Would you like to pull the lever?
There's baddies around.
Would you like
Yes,
to pull the
because
lever?
if we need to make a speedy exit, I don't want to burn again.
All right. Falbin
Just stay
would
out
like to do an investigation for traps.
Okay. Why don't Magus go ahead and roll an investigation at advantage because Theo's helping you, and then Falbin, if you want to roll perception for traps around you.
It was like on a 20, and then it turned over. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Yeah. Advantage for the win.
All right. So, Magus, you're looking around. The oil, after a minute or so, has eventually drained out of the gaps, cracks in the floor. And besides the lever, there does not appear to be any other means of interacting with this elevator, which normally would give you a sense of frustration. But you're an educated man, and you begin to think it may not be a physical interaction. It may be a lot of magic things have command words. So maybe there is a password to this elevator.
Ah, crap.
Theo pulled the lever is the password.
Falbin, you look ahead down the hall and you do not see any traps.
Cool.
There is just kind of like rubble and debris and broken weapons and, garbage.
Scattered dreams.
Yep. You see a room to your right, and there you see at least a work table with some like rusty weapons and stuff laying around, and then to the left there's another passageway. And you feel heat from the left passage.
Well, how loud was the elevator when it chimed?
Very loud.
Okay, so sneaking around's not really going to help us here.
I mean, you never know. Elevators might just do this on their own.
Yeah, they're very famous for going up and down by themselves.
If there's anything down here, it might just be used to this as like a routine.
Yeah. Everybody pulls that lever.
Yeah. But there's not often a Medusa that sneaks down the hallway after the elevator, so it's the last thing they'd expect. I really shouldn't be like guiding your thought process here.
I'm telling you, I step out of the elevator as Gaius, and I say we got the...
Well, I guess, should we sneak or brute force the Omegas?
I feel like sneaking would probably be, prudent. At least try. Who knows how many odd sounds are made down here on a daily basis?
I'm gonna hug this wall here. And sneak it.
Sneak it.
So this appears to be a work area. It seems to be empty so far.
Yeah,
and...
I'll give you a brief description of that room since you can see most of it. That room is lined with racks, iron racks, in fact. You guys have seen, I think the only iron you've ever seen is probably Shade's glaive that he carries. So it's very rare to see iron at all, and this room, the weapons are not iron, it's just the racks that hold them. So it's almost used for mundane purpose here.
Shade would make note that he might want to grab that, put it in the bag of holding.
Bag of holding.
I mean,
Yep.
it's almost entirely rusted because like
We can derust it.
We can
It's
melt
fine.
it down.
sure.
Yeah,
I got
we could-
Vulcan.
Yep.
Yeah, and but anyway, but they're all like tipped over, and you see weapons and stuff, weapons and armor laying on the ground, but they're either broken or corroded or rusted. You see piles of bone and refuse just kind of scattered throughout the room. Yeah, that's what you see outside the room. And then left. So go ahead and roll a stealth check, please.
I will roll a stealth check. Be stealthy!
Yeah, you peek your head around the corner, and you can actually step forward one space, and just pretend. So you see a octagonal room. Is that the right amount of sides I'm looking at? Yeah. And it's a large room dominated by a huge circular vat of molten lava that is like actively molten. And behind it, you see that like red circle back here? So that is I don't know why it's red. It is a ornate bronze sphere about 10 feet in diameter. And it's supported by 4 legs and has a spout that is facing towards the lava pit. And then flanking that bronze sphere are 2 two-headed Cerbri, like you've been fighting. They are resting.
Can I tell anything more about this sphere? Like, that I shouldn't or should disturb it? Or
It appears the only, like, besides the fact that it's an ornate bronze sphere just sitting in a room, the most interesting fact about it is that it has a spout directly pointed at the lava.
As like a tea kettle that might pour something into the molten pool? Or...
Sure. And actually, this is not an exact replication of what you see, but I want to show you a flavor image that might kind of represent the setting that you're in. So, ta-da!
Tasty.
Yeah.
Tasty flavor.
So very finely crafted, but in disrepair, and but warm. Weapons everywhere. So yeah.
So I would I'd whisper back to the crew that we're looking at least 2 Cerberi. There's probably a magical artifact here that Magus is going to need to look
Okay.
at. And I guess with that, I'm going to throw a dagger.
Actually, before you do anything,
Oh.
with your passive perception,
Oh.
roll another perception check while you're kind of scanning this room. Okay. You looking at the bubbling magma in the lava pit in the center, the vat. You feel like you see the shape of something swimming in it.
Oh, great.
So I just want to let you know that before you lock into any certain action.
Great. So I would share. There is probably a entity who is probably powerful, swimming casually in the magma.
Taking a little dip.
Hopefully, you guys are ready for this. And I don't think that changes what I'm going to do next.
Okay, so we're gonna attack
Do you think Gaius is in the pool swimming?
It probably is.
It probably is.
He's pretty ugly. He needs it.
Horrifying.
Or a helmet. Could be a helmet.
So yeah, is this initiative or?
Yeah, let me get the encounter queued. Okay, you can go ahead and roll initiative. So will they. Is everybody else engaging? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Damn, they rolled bad.
I like that. Oh no.
Well, I'll be back with you guys later.
Hey, you.
I have to roll for shade, don't I?
Oh, you do. Yes. That's okay. You rolled better than at least one of the Cerberi. For the life of me, so you guys know the little pop-up thing where you can select inventory and spells and skills and stuff. Like,
Yep.
So I have one on my screen for Kyra, and I have never been able to get rid of it. It is always on my screen.
Yeah.
Do you guys
so
ever have
you
that?
have to deselect the character. I had the same problem with Shade. If you shift left click on Kyra, I think it'll deselect her.
No.
Well, then good luck.
I don't know. We're just gonna. I've just been like hiding it behind the chat bar and stuff, and well, now it's not even gonna want to hide. It really just wants to be seen.
You made it worse, Falbin.
I did.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll go ahead and begin the combat. All right.
So Shade would close the baby buggy.
Close the baby buggy. Cool.
Yep. That's exactly what Shade would do.
He'd proceed to
He sure would.
Here-ish.
So the closing the lid is an action, just so you know.
I think we would still do that.
Okay.
I
love how just giving you guys a freaking tree has, like, you guys are taking such good care of it. I really didn't. I kind of thought that it was just gonna kind of vanish into your inventories, but like you're making conscious decisions to protect it, and I love that.
Well, I mean, Theo also sings it lullabies when everybody else isn't looking. So,
and like, just so you know, that won't go unrewarded. Like, it's not time. It's not time wasted. So you know.
Cool. So Shade's gonna get here, and then he's actually gonna enter his stance right here. I don't know if that's an action or not, though.
Bonus action. Bonus action to enter the stance.
Well, he's excited about that, so bonus action the hell out of that. Yeah, I think that's gonna be Shade's turn.
Tight. And then it's your turn.
And then it's my turn. Falbin's gonna initiate this and hope that it was the right choice.
Ooh, nice roll.
Aww, and he's surprised, isn't he?
He is indeed.
He is. Oh, it's so sad. It's gonna be one of these.
That's truly unfortunate.
Big doinks.
Ooh. Big doinks.
Big doinks. So it is sleeping, and its two heads are like nuzzled up next to each other, and you manage to skewer both skulls with your one dagger, and it is dead.
Yummy. Big doinks. Wow.
Big doinks.
And the other one is beginning to stir.
Yep. And I'm just gonna turn around and -5 attack that guy. And that'll be at advantage. Roll that. So 10.
10 does not hit. It bounces off the wall behind it, and then returns to your hand.
All right. And with that, Falbin's gonna back up over here.
Okay. We got Theo.
All right. Theo's gonna come over out here and see what's all the doinking about.
The doink.
So, after seeing the doinking target, it's gonna aim for him. At this point, you know, they know we're here, so when in doubt, must get out. Get in there. Oh, I'm gonna use my session inspiration to re-roll that.
Sure. Are you kidding me? 1 in 400 chance.
For Falbin last session.
I'm gonna hide in a corner now.
I am so sorry.
I'm so sorry. I'm gonna move back a little bit here.
It's painful.
Think about my life choices.
Okay. All right. As you think. Oh, sorry, fucking Rue. Excuse me.
Fucking Rue. That's actually his name now.
Fucking.
I come over
this
here.
bird.
Target the save one. This is going to make up for Theo lackluster.
Ooh, yeah.
Boom. Look at that solid
Blink.
2.
Tickles him.
Fall back. Done.
You know, I was just thinking, like, is this whole like bird genocide thing all about like Rue wanting to be the only bird in the world or something, or like?
Oh wow!
Like,
you're finally putting it together.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's more of that Rue is actually the mastermind, and I'm the construct.
Ah, God,
yep. Big reveal, season session 48.
I'm gonna delete that from the recording so that can be like a big surprise later. Okay, wow, that's great. All right, so I was gonna say the uninjured Cerberus. Oh wait, what did I accidentally? Oh, I like tanked his HP on accident. Hold on, he does not have a max of. He doesn't have a max of 6 HP.
Well, I mean, Rue took away a third then, so.
Okay, so he's gonna use an ability that they have had this whole time, and I just forgot over and over. It's called aggressive. And basically, as a bonus action, they can move up to their speed towards a hostile creature they can see. So,
does he still get a turn since he's surprised? Just.
Oh my God!
I don't know
I totally forgot. No, he is surprised.
Aw, poor puppers.
One of these days, I'm gonna get everything all right. He is surprised. Where is that condition? QRS. It's not there. He's surprised. Magus
is shocked.
Oh, also, one thing I forgot and was clarified for me is that creatures with the surprise condition cannot take reactions either. So you can surprise a creature and then like move past them and not get opportunity attacked if that ever becomes relevant.
For some reason.
Yeah.
But like, who's pulling the lever?
When you're rushing back to the elevator.
Sure. Yeah, totally. Because like that could be a situation where like you're sprinting through a dungeon and like you're being stealthy, but people are like seeing you but not getting a chance to attack you because you're going so fast. Anyway. And I'll just say,
know what's in the thing.
I'll just say that because Falbin's roll was so high, it didn't matter, but they will have half cover behind this vat because it's about like 4 feet tall.
I see.
Or no, it's 3 feet tall because it's dwarven construction, but still, it provides some cover.
All right. I don't know what's in the vat yet, and
Magma.
so I'm not going to use powerful spells.
Lava.
Hot stuff.
And so I'm just going to Ray of Frost this Cerberus.
Okay.
Critical success.
Ooh, not quite.
Yeah.
That's a cool animation, though.
Tricky cover, but
tricky
nope.
cover.
And then I'm just gonna move back.
Okay. The dead one. All right, it's Shade's turn.
All right. Well, let's see here. Shade would go ahead and round the corner. And then, does his echo also get 30 feet of movement, or is it joint between the two tokens?
That is a great question. I don't know. Hold on one second. Features. Manifest echo. On your turn, you can command it to move up to 30 feet in any direction. No action required. Cool. So, yes, but if it's ever more than 30 feet from you at the end of your turn, it is destroyed.
Yep. And so with that, I'm going to command the echo to move its way.
Oh, and by the way, Shade gets 1 HP for the ring. because the dog was killed.
Doesn't the enemy have to be like within 5 feet or something?
Oh, it's right. Not. I don't think it's 5 feet. I think it's 30 feet.
You are
Take the point.
correct.
But
Take the
you were
point.
like 50 feet away, so it still doesn't count. But
Gosh darn it.
And I'm gonna leave my shade there. And
Okay.
then they're not. Can't really get all the way over there, so. Doesn't want to use the javelin yet. Shade's gonna actually move another step forward. To right about here.
okay.
Undo. He's gonna stay there, and then he's gonna enter tunnel fighter mode again and stay.
Tunnel fighter mode activated. And then Falbin's turn.
Falbin that brought long range weaponry.
You do have a bow and stuff, don't you?
I do.
It's probably just not as good
indeed.
as your dagger.
I really like my dagger.
Yeah. I'm glad you like it.
I don't know why.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw my dagger.
Throw my dagger. Throw my dagger.
Throw my dagger. Throw my dagger.
Missing good.
That misses.
And then I'm gonna do it again for a -5.
That also
12.
misses. Yeah.
Cool. And then he's gonna take a step back. Right about here.
Okay. And then Theo. I love the art for these two-headed Cerberi. They look really cool.
I'm gonna remove him with a musket shot
Yeah, you are.
around the cauldron.
Oh, that'd be tight. Yeah, dude. Oh, damn. Full damage. Very nice. Yeah, you take him. You take one of the heads clean off.
And with my just so for further situations, the sharpshooter I think ignores up to like.
It does. Yeah.
It's 2/3 cover.
It ignores all cover besides total cover.
Gotcha.
So you may need to read that again, but like half cover, 3/4 cover does not help anymore. And that's just a passive. Like you don't have to make a sharpshooter attack in order for that to apply. It's just all the time.
Boom.
Which is amazing.
Accuracy.
And actually, I watched a video of a guy beating the Guinness or setting the Guinness record for most arrows shot through a keyhole in did you see that?
I did.
It's like 7 arrows in like 20 seconds through a keyhole. So
That's ridiculous.
if you ever think that something isn't possible,
What key?
It had a rule like the keyhole
Okay.
It was
couldn't
like-
be any bigger than 3 millimeters
Oh.
or something.
I was gonna say it was like the
Would've been
key to your
nuts.
mom's house. Which happens to be really tiny, so that she can't pick it up. Anyway, Rue does really good. The Cerberus is not quite dead yet.
Gosh darn it.
And it's his turn now, thankfully. And he can move.
He gets to move.
So he is going to use his aggressive thing before I never have a chance to use it again. But that is going to have him close with the yep.
Yeah.
He exists within 5 feet.
Can I smack it?
You can. You may.
Entered my range, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take a swipe.
Yeah. He runs up
Schwack him.
and you slice the remaining head off and it falls to the ground.
See what aggression gets you?
No.
All right.
Dang.
You have
Are you advocating pacifism now, Theo?
For others.
By the way, I would have left the baby buggy back with Kyra, but I can't move it.
Oh, don't worry about it. We'll just
Okay.
we'll pretend it's back there.
Cool.
Okay, so the room falls quiet again. There is just the sound of sloshing lava in the vat. Shade's Echo is just like standing completely unfazed by the blistering heat. And this room is incredibly impressive, but it isn't a forge. Like this, it's got, an open pit of magma, but it is not it doesn't appear to be a forge based on your knowledge of that.
Am I able to glean any information about the orb?
Make an Arcana check, please.
Come on.
19, pretty good. This appears to be some sort of like it was built to safeguard the vat, built to either like apply a condition or like it's aimed straight into the vat. So it's not like, you know, there is a it's like this is a
Temperature
like
regulator?
a sentinel or like a it's
The last guardian.
a guardian type thing. Yeah.
I will relay this information to the rest. So, like, it is applying some kind of beneficial condition to the vat.
Maybe not beneficial. I mean that
It is applying a condition.
it seems placed there to do a thing that is so vague.
It's an if statement.
It's like it had like you're looking over the runes and it's like it's there to do a thing if a trigger happens basically, and the target of which is the vat.
Right.
And else.
And am I noticing the dragon motif on it?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think that's a fair assumption.
Yeah, with your eyesight.
Yeah.
Can Falbin or someone do some sort of nature-y check to see if we know what this thing is that's moving around in the vat?
Yeah, go ahead. Now that you're closer, like how close are you getting to it?
I mean, I think Shade and Shade would be about that far, and I would want to maintain this distance as well, 5 feet.
Okay. Yeah, so go ahead and roll that nature check. I'll give you advantage since you've had a lot of time to analyze the room and Magus has had time to investigate the orb. An 18.
No, I rolled for Shade.
Oh, whoops.
Works.
Yours-
It works.
I mean, what is your intelligence bonus? Is it higher than his? His is +1, and I don't think he...
Mine is +3.
Okay,
so
yeah.
I guess it would have been
So a dirty 20. Yeah, so looking at the shape under the... I mean, the magma is almost totally... what's it called when you can't see through a thing?
obscuring.
Is that?
Opaque.
Opaque. That's the word.
Opaque.
It is obscuring as well, but it is nearly totally opaque and only mildly translucent, I suppose. But it is like a long snake-like figure that kind of winds in and around in the lava. Doesn't appear to be negatively impacted by the lava, and so this makes you think it does not appear to be like a summoned creature or like made of fire. Like it is a solid physical creature that is just not affected by it. And so your best guess is that this is what's called a salamander, which are they are elemental creatures, and they are typically found on the elemental plane of fire. And intense heat radiates from their bodies, and they when they are in a place that they're not supposed to be in, they often leave behind a ruined, fiery wake, because they long to be in and around fire. So this is like a comfy place for a salamander. Those that are able to obtain one and successfully contain it often are able to use them as a smithing source due to their natural radiance of heat.
Is it aware of us? Would I be able to tell that?
It appears to be aware of you. Yeah, every now and then it will kind of slither under the lava in your direction and then kind of pause for a moment and then do another loop. Yeah.
Cool. Looks like a great smithing aid, and that orb there probably is there to contain the salamander, so it doesn't get up to shenanigans.
Yeah, let's just leave this be for now.
Yeah. Vulcan needs his salamander.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's a forcing factor here right now. So
Okay, so there's a passage directly to the south that leads to like a small room and then looks like another exit. The path to the 7 o'clock position looks like it leads to the forge proper. Like there's a lot of like open pits of like where molten iron and mithril and stuff would flow. There are large cauldrons hanging from the ceiling on winches and pulleys and tracks and stuff where they can be moved around. And at the very, very back of the room, I believe you can partially see something. There is a huge creature with 3 dark furry heads and horns.
Oh.
And it is a young Cerberus. Go ahead and roll a stealth check, please.
Let's just roll it really good. Really good. Turn that. I'm gonna inspiration that. Put the lantern away.
Okay. It does not appear to notice you. It is kind of just pacing around the room. It's not asleep. Yeah.
So I would share with the group that we are not alone.
Are we ever?
That's good.
Okay. I would want to clear out all paths except that one, and make sure that this orb is safe. Because if the salamander gets loose, the Cerveri are immune to fire, so it will do damage to only us.
Oh, that would be exciting. Yeah. Let's check out this little hallway here and do so in a way that moves us away from where we're at.
Yeah, totally.
Make tracks. Mr. Stealth, would you like to go first?
I see.
I know you like to face check stuff. We know that my thing is pulling levers, so we all have a thing.
And I'm sneaking.
Yeah, so you come through this little side room and 1 second. 1 second.
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
So this chamber leads to a secret dock. There is basically a stone dock that extends behind the thundering waterfall of the Archelon River. The room that you pass through is filled with like rotting sacks and barrels and seems like an offloading point for shipments. And there is an ornate bronze lever like right here.
Oh, that's my cue. You got a lever? I can pull a lever.
You can pull a mean lever.
Can we inspect
We all know how well it went
its
last
mechanisms to see if that gives us any clues as to its purpose?
Sure.
Probably just opens the waterfall.
Yeah, do an investigation. If Theo wants to do it, I'll give him advantage because you're an artificer, and this is a.
I will totally investigate that.
Yeah.
And once I find the,
I'm just kind of like pointing at it and then shrugging and then pointing at Theo and then pointing at it and then shrugging and then looking at Theo.
pointing at Theo, yep, pointing at it and shrugging and looking at Theo.
And over and over and over. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So
this is a beautifully carved lever that extends from the wall.
yes.
There is a small kind of motif above it that shows an image of the waterfall, and then the waterfall basically has is divided down the middle, and you see a ship. You see a ship sitting in the point at which the waterfall is divided.
See, I called it. It opens up the waterfall so we can get shipments. That's sick. I'm gonna leave it on right now. I feel like water supply should be maintained.
Yeah, because right now the waterfall is full curtain, and it is closed, or else you would have seen this from outside.
All right, Magus has an exit strategy. Moving on.
That's true. You can always just go swimming and leave.
Yeah,
us
you can
to
turn into a
ourselves.
fish.
Yep.
You can turn into a fish like Merlin.
Oh, careful over there. Yeah.
So,
Oh no.
the room is mostly quiet. You hear like the bubbling of the lava, and you've kind of gotten accustomed to the sound of the heavy paws, like stepping around, kind of just in a pacing. But the paws have stopped, and as you kind of return to the main room, you hear just like three of these happening at the same time, like three sniffing sounds. And then you hear the paws begin again, and they start heading in your direction.
All right. Well, with that, Shade would kind of shuffle over here pretty quickly. Command his Shade to take position here, and Falbin would try to shuffle up behind him.
Let's sit over here.
All right, 1 second.
Uh-oh. Why are you over there?
Because I can shoot through full cover, and I've got a sniper rifle. So
Wow,
it doesn't really
you suck.
matter. Need shields.
So the heads are like all trained on you, and just kind of like, it's slowly lumbering towards you. It doesn't appear to be like poised to attack, but it is very suspicious. And it gets about here, and then one of the heads opens its mouth and it speaks to you. And it says,
Prithee.
We are the guardians sent by Mistress Lutheria to protect and to what's the word? To shoo away. I forget the word. It starts with a D. Whatever.
Deter.
Deter. To protect and to deter all that would intrude and try to reawaken the ancient forge. Now who comes?
And Shade would say, we come. Those who have been tasked with reawakening the forge.
It shall not be an easy task for you. And let's start combat.
Well, I guess deception is out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the mouth that's speaking was speaking, but the other two were just like licking their lips in obvious like hunger, like ravenous hunger.
Well, I've got some lead for him.
Yes!
No, oh my god. Nat, so I remember that gives you advantage on your first attack roll.
Yep, so I get advantage and advantage.
God.
It's cool.
It's cool.
Oh, and then didn't we determine that if you already had advantage on your first attack for some reason, that you would just get a floating inspiration point?
I totally forgot you decided to give that.
Because
yes.
because you guys are badass, and I want you to feel badass.
I love being a badass. Poor
I love being a badass.
Okay. Yeah, this poor Cerberus.
Yeah. So I need to check something real quick. So, can you clarify something for me, sir?
Yeah.
Ingested
Oh,
status
yeah.
for poison.
Uh-huh.
That basically needs to be delivered via beverage or food, correct?
I would say it just has to. It has to. Enough of it has to get through their throat. They have to swallow it. So whether.
Right. So if I wanted to like throw this and as a vial and get it into one of their maws, I would be at like 3 levels of disadvantage or something. Is that?
Unless you put it inside a cockatrice corpse.
which you don't have.
If only we thought of this before
do you?
combat started.
We do.
We do have a corpse.
We have. We have 3 of them.
My God.
We have 3 of them.
That is a really interesting plan. I mean, so the trick would be getting it into the corpse without it noticing.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
if you wanna follow this plan of thinking, I'm happy to entertain it.
No, because it's a DC 10, and I'm pretty sure its constitution is pretty decent.
You would be correct.
So I'm not gonna do that. But I'm gonna save that for later. That's interesting. Ooh, let me check one more thing. I'm going to attack with my dagger. Shocker.
Stabby stab stab.
And we're gonna advantage that because assassin.
Oh.
Kabam.
That does hit. For
Right, and that would be with sneak attack because advantage.
Love it. Total of 20 damage. Yeah, you poke a small hole and it comes back.
Cool. Barely injured. Cool. A small hole. So then, if I wanted to pull out a weapon and attack with that, I could not do that through a bonus action. Is that correct?
Have you used a bonus action yet?
Nope.
You could do a bonus action 2-weapon fighting attack as long as the other weapon is light. So if you have another dagger,
and if it doesn't specifically say light, then it's not.
right? Yeah,
light.
it has to be a light weapon.
Cool. I am going to pull out Hope's End.
The bow.
And get that ready.
Okay.
Because it has purpose.
I've forgotten what it is, and I'm not going to look it up because I want to be surprised.
You'll be surprised.
It has purpose.
And I am actually going to take a step back because I would wager a good sum of money that it has a attack that I don't want to be around for.
Legendary action.
Cool. That's my turn.
You are correct about that legendary action thing. So it is going to...
What? Already? Shade doesn't get to go?
No.
Legendary actions happen after a player's turn.
Oh, great.
Let's see. Just one moment, sorry.
Shade looks over at Megas and he says, I hope you're ready to dance.
Okay. So in fact it is you see it kind of crouch low to the ground, inhale, but it does not start to breathe fire. In fact, it unleashes a bark from all 3 heads that kind of like, you see the physical shockwave of this bark moving
great.
through the air. And I'm going to need Shade and the Echo to please make a Constitution saving throw. Well, actually, the Echo can't be...
Echo's immune to status.
It's immune to status. That includes prone, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay, well...
Cannot be prone.
All right, so Shade's going to roll the con save. DC's 15. And that's a 13.
Oh.
So Shade is deafened.
It's gonna use an inspiration.
Okay. And that's a crit. Yeah, Shade turns his little cat ears back to kind of let the shockwave, aerodynamically flow over them. And he is unaffected.
Like a Mercedes.
Like a Mercedes. And it's Shade's turn
I
now.
would say more like a Jaguar.
Like a
Should have said that. That's what I meant.
Very good. All right, it's Shade's turn now.
All right. Cool. Shade is going to pull out the Javelin of Lightning. And he is going to target the Cerberus, and he will lift it up right behind his right ear, turn his head towards it, and say, "Fly!" And he throws it with all his force at the first of the 3 heads.
Okay.
Attacking. I don't know why so many dice happened, but it happened.
Because this is the javelin of
I don't know how to angle this thing that's happening, but it's going straight down the hallway from him.
There's only one target essentially. So the 17 does hit. So it's going to take 8 piercing damage from the physical javelin, and then it needs to make a dexterity saving throw. It's going to do that at advantage.
Ooh.
And it rolled 2 3s. It fails.
Advantage means nothing in this game.
I was able to throw 2 1s. So.
Damn straight. So it's going to take 18 lightning damage. Its fur stands up on end, and it seems mildly hurt. Nice job.
What does the 9 other mean?
4d6.
That's the lightning. If anybody else is in the path of lightning, they take that 9, I think.
Oh, I see. It's halved. Damage is halved if there's more than 1?
Something like that.
I don't know. Okay, nice job.
Cool. So then I've used an action, and I have a bonus action, and I believe Unleash Incarnation is a full action.
Yes.
Are you in your stance?
I am not yet. So Shade's Shade is going to step up to here. Actually, here. And Shade's going to take a step back to here. And he's going to enter his stance. Turn.
Okay. At the end of your turn,
Uh-oh.
it really doesn't seem like he can fit up through this hallway, so he's not going to try. So he's going to move back.
Ooh.
Oh, interesting. I don't like that.
Yeah, he should try to move up that hall.
I don't like that. What's he trying to do back here?
It's
What's he trying to do? What's he trying to do?
Does he need to take a sneaky wee?
No, he just moves back and he...
Readies himself.
No. Nothing happens. Oh, it's his turn. So something should happen.
Something should have.
He keeps his position, does a thing. So
He did a thing.
All right.
No outward indications of said thing.
Nope. He just kind of like lowers his stance a little bit. Theo.
This is a thing. What kind of range do I have at this point?
You got pretty good range. Oh shit, I deleted the token. Oh no.
He moves back and dies.
Yep.
He
He's
just
dead.
lays down.
Oh
He's
no.
teleported.
Where is he?
He's
I just
Wait. Don't do anything. Can you press Control Z?
I'm
Does that work?
trying. Nothing's happening. I just totally deleted him. Hold on.
Oh, there he is.
Is that the right amount of? No, that's not the right amount of
No.
health.
So I had done 20 damage to him, and then Shade did 8 and 18.
26.
So 26 more.
So
Yeah, 26.
46 total damage.
Correct.
Okay, cool. Sorry about that. All right, Theo, what you got?
I'm going to use my sniper sharpshooter thing, a -5 on attack, and I'm gonna see the roll and potentially inspiration it. Or do I need to decide before if I'm gonna inspiration it before? I roll?
You can
After the
inspiration.
roll, before you know the result.
Yeah.
After the roll, before you know if it succeeded.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a. It would be a 14 with sharpshooter.
I'm gonna roll inspiration.
Okay. You also, if you wanted to, have added 5 to that. You could have done that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Would you like to have done that instead?
Well, of course after the fact, but I think at the time I probably would have.
I just wanted to make sure you knew that was an option.
I did in the back of my mind, but I didn't think about it.
Okay,
But I'm gonna let what happened happen.
Cool. I respect that. So a 14 does not hit.
Right.
It bites the bullet right out of the air.
Wow. That's
Like
insulting.
One Punch Man style.
That's promising.
The Rue is gonna walk him. I think it needs to be. What's the range on this? 60 feet. Is this 60 feet? Swoop. Yep. From here, Pinion Storm. Ciao. Wow.
That's a miss.
And then hide in shame.
Okay. Megas.
So, okay. First off, I want to get eyes on this thing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna come up here.
Mm-hmm.
Injured. And I am going to use an action to send a message to it.
Okay.
And I'm just going to say, you are far beyond your designated post, young one.
Let's see. Just give me a minute. Just give me a second.
Or I'd say appropriate post.
Right.
Young one.
He says, our home and our post are not the same. We are where we are supposed to be. You are not. I'm just kidding. You are.
Then we will do this. Well, let's see. Except like he's injured.
Yeah, he is.
And he's been staying back there, so I have hope that, like, maybe I don't have to use my powerful spell?
Well, I'm pretty sure he's back there to pull a lever. I don't see a lever. I think he's gonna do the equivalent.
There's been a lot of levers lately.
For some reason, I think he's gonna pull the right one.
Yeah. I'm gonna sit on it. I'm gonna wait and see what happens.
Okay.
And so I'm just going to move back. And also, since I have a bonus action so like my movement speed doesn't matter because I still have Expeditious Retreat going.
You do, really?
It lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay. I don't know. It'd be real close. Because it's like, it's possible that it has been 10 minutes, but also maybe hasn't. You know what? Keep it up. It's fine.
Okay. So yeah, like I can use my bonus action to like really dash around.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but yeah, like I'm gonna end my turn, and I'm just gonna wait and I'm gonna come up by the orb, and I'm just gonna wait and see what happens.
Right.
And young Cerbert, yeah, there.
Cool. I forgot to drop him back into initiative. All right. So it was Megas' turn. Oh, damn it. Hold on. This has it on round 1, so I'm going to skip it back around to round 2, which it was. And then back up to Falvin. All right.
It should have been round 1, because that was the first time I did anything.
Oh my god. Okay, you're right.
You can rewind it.
I mean, just in case there's like a lair action that the thing explodes on round 5,
Sure.
I want to be sure this is right.
Well, actually, I think it was round 3.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
All right.
Our
right,
poor chat log.
Let's see here. Double check something here. Okay, yep. Falbin's gonna walk up here. And I'm going to knock an arrow upon Hope's End.
For the first time?
For the first time.
For the first time.
In forever. And I actually need to equip it since I bothered to get it out. And then I need to... I guess one thing I need to check on, it says once per long rest after attuning this item, you may cast Hex as a level 1 spell. Mm-hmm. Is that regardless of attacking with the bow, or is that part of the attack?
Good question. I mean, I think you can just cast it, but I mean, you have to have the bow equipped to cast it. So, I mean, you could cast it and then use your dagger instead, you know, like I'd say it's fine.
Put
Interesting.
your dagger on the bowstring.
Because the spell lasts, it's a concentration spell that lasts an hour. So it basically, you just do extra necrotic damage when you hit with any attack. It doesn't have to be the bow, I don't think.
Correct.
Unless you think it would be better flavor for it to only work with the bow. Like, I'm fine with you doing whatever you want.
I like the generalness of how it's written.
Yeah, totally.
So it's more powerful if I can wield it as I see fit.
Yep.
So I'm gonna cast Hex using Hope's End.
Okay. Is that a save that he has to roll?
I am reading up on that right now. You can curse a monster within range until the spell ends. You deal an extra 1d6 damage to the target whenever you hit it. Also choose one ability when you cast the spell. The target has disadvantage on any ability checks made with the chosen ability.
Oh shit.
If the target drops to 0 hit points before the spell, you may churn the curse to another creature nearby.
So he can't resist it. It's just cursed.
Correct.
Yeah. Sweet.
You can remove it with a remove curse.
Right.
That's it.
But he is hexed.
Right. So then that means I'm also concentrating.
Yes.
Blam. I am now going to attack with Hope's End. Blam. Ah, it was almost a crit.
That does hit. So it's going to take 9 plus the additional 1d6 of necrotic damage.
I'll get that. Roll 1d6. Bam.
Nice.
Ooh.
Okay. So total of 15 damage.
Yep. And then I'm gonna just 2-weapon fight -5 my rebound dagger. And I did not mean to do that advantage. The left roll, the 19 would have been it.
Damn.
-5, 14.
Oh, 14 does not hit.
Okay. Crap.
The dagger, he dodges it with one of his heads, and then just says, "Ah, yes, the doomed one. Our lady has told us about you. Said to offer you a speedy end if we were ever to see you. Please, just come back here and we will swallow you whole and send you back to her quickly."
He only does that if he gets a bow.
No thanks. I've done this before.
"We can give you a bow."
Inside check. And with that, Falbin will walk around the corner and nope fish that.
Cool. All right. It's actually before Shade goes, it is going to continue back into the corridor behind.
Great. There's probably no reason for that.
He's probably just shy.
Now it's Shade's turn.
Cool. Shade's going to pursue.
Okay. Hold up. Just gonna have you think about what you've done.
Yeah, just think about pulling a lever and what that might do.
I'm gonna give you 3 guesses as to what you hear.
I hear a lever being pulled.
You do. And directly above Shade's head, this spot was chosen ahead of time. I'm not bullshitting this. One of those cauldrons that I described earlier begins to tilt and spills molten lava directly over Shade's head. That's gonna do 8d6.
Oh, do I get to like dodge cat reflex, dexterously?
Is that a thing on his sheet?
Well, it is now. How fast can you type, Fallon?
I can add it real fast. No, I'm not aware of any stat that would give me this. I'm just asking if there's any save that I can do.
Nope. 25 fire damage to Shade's head. You guys haven't analyzed this room. Let's see. Also, he prepared this. Okay, Shade can continue the rest of his turn.
Great. Shade is sad.
Very singed.
Thankfully, Shade used all but 5 feet of his movement. And he's going to take 1 step back.
Cool. Yeah, there's like a grate.
And cry.
There's like a grate where the lava is kind of filtering down into, so it's not spreading out all over the floor. Thankfully, Shade does wear a helmet, a bronze helmet, so, and armor, so, definitely hurt, but not, like, disfigured. Okay.
Sweet.
Anything else?
I don't think I'd feel good if I disfigured his character.
Yeah, I think you've done enough for now.
Shade is going to move forward. And stop here. And Shade is going to now, with his echo, decide if there's anything about this room that is suspicious, or maybe traps, or maybe other cauldrons that are looking to drop their presence on parties.
So is
At
he?
this point, he.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say something smart ass. At this point, he knows that there are levers and things can be spilled.
Yes. Is Shade doing like a perception? Or sorry, is he doing a perception check through his echo? What's happening? Or like, wait, what are you saying he's doing?
We are both, the Echo and Shade, surveilling what we can find about this room.
In a perfectly mirrored fashion. Love it. Yeah, go ahead and do a perception check.
From this guy. Ching. Wow, that came out hot. Oh, good.
You see several like dragon heads over the different like channels where the molten metal would flow. You can't tell exactly what they'd be used for, but that's about all you pick up.
Cool. So gonna take one more step this way with my Shade and then enter my stance and then be done.
Okay, it is young Cerberus's turn. Let's see. You hear an echoing voice from down the hall just say like, you may kill us, but will you ever be truly safe from the horrors that haunt this mine, this cursed mine? I think not. But still, I offer free reign of this place. I make an oath to you now. I will protect all who occupy its halls if you but allow us the chance to devour the doomed one. And
from the back of the room comes an audible.
He didn't even offer a bow.
Fuck no!
Also, you can have I'll make you a bow. We will make you a bow. Shit. Come at me, bro. And he'll prepare an action, but you don't know what. Theo.
All these actions and reactions and double actions, side actions, quarter actions.
Indeed.
I only get 30 feet of movement, right?
I should have just decided he could go through that tunnel. This is kind of... This really isn't much of a fight if he can't even face you. We'll see how it goes.
I'll just prepare myself to shoot him if I see him again.
Totally. How about Rue?
Rue will likewise move up and ready. Well, I guess he could go further.
Mm-hmm.
So I think 60 feet is what... I don't know. Would Rue be able to see him from here? I don't have a...
Can't see him.
Nope.
Well, then Rue wouldn't do that. Rue would be back here.
Right.
Yeah, and that would be my incredible legendary turn.
Amazing. Let's see. Magus.
Question.
Yeah.
From the dream that we had on the road to Astoria, am I able to determine what Lutheria looks and sounds like?
Yeah, looks like yes. Or sorry, sounds like yes. Looks like...
Okay, but I didn't see her in the dream.
You would have seen kind of like Sidon, you would have seen like representations of her. Whether they are accurate, you don't know.
Whether they're accurate, I don't know. Dang!
Worth a try.
But you do know what she sounds like.
I do know what she sounds like.
Pitch your voice. Pitch your voice. Do it. You know you want to. You know you want to.
I am going to use Alter Self and change myself into Letheria.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I don't want you to react like that.
No, it's just it's a wild card.
It is a wild card. It is totally a wild card.
Can you post the spell description for me, please?
Yes, I can.
Can you,
Change appearance, height, weight, facial appearance, sound of your voice. Okay, hair length, all that.
Coloration, distinguishing characteristics.
Can make yourself appear as a member of another race. You can't appear. Okay. So the assumption is that she's a medium creature. Yeah,
so like I couldn't become a centaur.
Well, if she was not a medium creature, I'm not saying she isn't. Like say she was large or huge.
Right, yes. Yeah.
But the other gods, sorry, she's a Titan, so it doesn't apply. Okay, yeah. So you do. You do, I guess, your best guess of her appearance based on, statues, which in, I believe, ancient Greece were painted, the marble statues.
Yes, they were.
Often. Yeah, so you have, like, a lot of, like, dark colors and, a lot of, you don't get items or anything. You just get... You don't get clothes, do you? It's just your physical form.
It does say distinguishing characteristics.
I would think that would mean like scars and, like physical characteristics. This is your form. It's not disguise self, which I think specifically mentions like clothing and stuff. I'm gonna say this is purely physical.
Purely physical. Okay.
You know what that means?
I think we all know what that means.
Gee.
Magus will contemplate the ramifications of this later.
Okay.
Okay. I am going to, as part of the distinguishing characteristics, can I just make shadow just wafting off of me?
It's wow. Okay, that is a good question. It doesn't. Your basic shape stays the same. How about this? Roll an Arcana check. Roll high enough, and we'll let you add that to it.
And I would be willing to spend a sorcery point to make this happen as well.
Okay. Do that Arcana check though first.
Boom!
It's a natural 20. Okay. Yeah, you have this like mystical shadow just kind of wafting off of you, like you said, and it.
All right.
And you're just this like beautiful, slender, like long. I think she's depicted with blonde hair.
I thought it was dark hair, but that could have just been my imagination.
Yeah, I think it's
Does it completely cover my clothes?
It doesn't affect your clothes, just your physical appearance.
Just the shadow, I mean.
With a nat 20, sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's do some weird stuff then.
You said it. All right.
All right, I'm gonna come forward. And I'm going to look up and I'm going to try and find a route that is not underneath cauldrons.
Okay. You've used your action to cast Alter Self.
That is true.
So I'm going to say you're going to have to chance it.
Okay. Oh. Okay, so that's the nature of this. How far have I traveled already?
That's the nature of this.
Yep. So I think because Expeditious Retreat is still up, I can use my bonus action to move another 30 feet, and I don't think I've quite... Yeah, I think I moved 30 feet now.
Okay, sweet.
I'm going to come down here.
Uh-huh. You can begin to see the shape of the Cerberus from where you are.
I'm going to come here. And at this point, I am going to call out, "Hold, pup! The doomed one has returned to me once already, but the conditions were not right. This is not the time. Return to me, we have things to discuss."
Cool. Roll a deception check at... I'm going to give you triple advantage. Or sorry, double advantage, so 3 rolls?
3 rolls.
3 rolls.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's the first one. There's the second one. I was so close to a natural 20.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one. Okay, and I'm going to use my point of inspiration to add 5 to the 20.
Sick. So 25, you step through, slinking through the darkness as Lutheria is wont to do. And you say, can you repeat what you said?
Hold, pup. The doomed one has returned to me once already, but the time was not right. Return to me. We have things to discuss.
Love it. Okay. You hear the form shift and step out from the shadows and say, all 3 of them this time speak in unison, and they say, "My lady," and they bow. And then the one that's been kind of the spokesperson steps forward and just says, "We did not expect you to grace us with your presence. We apologize for the terrible job we have done. Our punishment shall not be swift nor severe enough to warrant this failure. We will go with you now." And it moves, and it is huge. I mean, this thing is at least 18 feet across, 3 heads, all kind of bowed down to you in deference. And like you're doing your best to like hold it together, because this is like this is the biggest, most vicious, vile creature you've ever confronted in your life, and it is right in front of you.
You are not wrong. Your punishment will be discussed. Now go. I shall deal with these interlopers.
We are to return through the pit?
Is there another way? You said yourself your punishment would not be swift.
There is a moment of realization in its mind where it realizes that the journey is its punishment, and it lowers its tail tucked, and turns around and begins to head back down that same passageway. And I'll say we're out of combat. So, holy shit. All right. So, in case it matters, you hear the heavy form, lumbering down the hall slowly, as if it is savoring its last moments of freedom. And then you hear nothing.
Dude, you cold.
You just talked down a young Cerberus, sir. All right. You've solved my
What did
big
I say?
old three-headed
Magic
dog.
is awesome.
Magic is awesome. he says, sweating bullets underneath the the visage of Lutheria. Tight. All right. Well, that was fun.
Shay's just gonna find like any outcropping or anything to like sit on.
Oh yeah,
He's gonna sit.
He's feeling a little hot.
Hmm.
Kind of looks over at Theo and he's like, I could use some help.
So could I. What do you want me to do? I don't have a. I don't think I brought enough aloe vera for this.
Wow.
I got a potion. But, I could also do, some basic triage. What you looking
Yeah.
for, bud?
Yeah, some
What you
basic
thinking?
triage would be nice.
Medicine. I'm gonna medicine. Gotta medicine this.
I mean, that doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I have some aloe vera.
Can we? Are we like actually safe?
As far as you know, yeah.
I would investigate the ceiling and make sure we're not walking under any cauldrons. But yeah.
So you can see that there is a cauldron hanging above this exact spot here. But Falbin, as you go into that corner, you can see there is a lever like right here, or a series of levers, excuse me. And they're in various positions of down and up. And at the end of that junction is a long hallway that ends in blackness.
Yeah, I wouldn't go down there for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Shade wants to go take a nap right now.
Maybe chill in the water.
Yeah, we could go over there and take a short
Yeah,
rest.
maybe
That
you
works
could
for
get some.
guys?
You
And
could
then,
chill a little bit.
Solve the salamander puzzle, maybe.
I don't know if that's a puzzle.
Wait. I mean,
So just a reminder, despite the bright yellow coloring of the forge over here, it is not active.
okay.
I don't know why it's described or shown visually that way. It should be seen that this room is basically not functional. And the only active source of heat and fire is the vat in which the salamander is trapped.
I'm going to have to step aside for a moment. There appears to be something going on. So,
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yep.
Something going on.
It's probably that Cerberus pup getting him.
Something going on. Something.
So, Falbin, you really didn't want to get eaten alive?
Yeah. Why wasn't it
Sorry.
tempting this time? It was last time.
You're not gonna get that to happen again.
Oh, you would have get to talk to Lutheria again, maybe, though.
It's my heart's desire, isn't it?
Totally. Totally.
All you need to do is let me kill you. Nope. Nope.
He would have guarded.
Nope.
Would have guarded. Just saying. So yeah, we can bring Shade over here while we're waiting, and he can relax over here, and we could do like a short rest or something.
Yeah, totally.
What do you think of that?
You guys can definitely short rest if you like.
Do some some rusted. Maybe repair some of those sores you got there. Probably got some mean blisters from that metal.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you guys are. Your skin is all like sunburned.
Shade takes a short rest, and he's gonna roll 2 of those. Two. It's kind of weird. Oh, I guess. Okay. Do it that way. And we'll do it again.
Whoa, why are you getting so many die?
Because I'm Shade.
Yeah, that's pretty shady.
Short rest. Feeling much better, much better.
Much better, much better. That famous Shade song.
Shade's always getting dunked on by crazy amounts of damage.
He is a good tank.
He is.
This intermission brought to you by Double Den Gun.
This intermission was brought to you by political canvassers. So,
Oh,
sorry about that.
Oh my
That's all good.
gosh.
Will you vote? Which candidate are you representing? A. Oh, well, I'll be voting for B now.
I'm actually representing Lutheria, and I'm really
Yes.
busy right now.
All right,
no, Lutheria holds elections, but like she always wins, you know. So,
Yeah.
Oh, like China.
Bobby Newport's never
Okay.
worked a day in his life.
I will go up and like kind of mention to Kyra's like, apparently Lutheria isn't the only one who can pull tricks in these mines.
That was very impressive. You really looked the part, I would say. It's been a
I will kind of like adjust my bust as her. It's like, yes, I did that.
Wow.
how long does that spell last?
I believe it lasts for an hour.
All right, I'll try not to get too freaked out. You are quite
I'll
scary
change
looking.
back to myself,
Oh, okay, cool.
but I'm not dropping the spell. I can change back at any time.
Oh, that's cool. In case a guard walks in or something.
Yep.
Okay, so
We snuck our way down into the storage area next to the waterfall.
Yeah,
I guess,
and we took a short rest. Yeah.
Okay, I don't think I have anything more that I can do on a short rest. I think I used up all that stuff.
and you're uninjured, so
Yeah.
all right. Yeah.
Shade dunked his toes in the water.
Uh-huh.
His dogs were hurting.
His little toe beans were all singed.
Yeah,
Much
exactly.
healed now.
And were you saying that I know I offered, but did I use a sorcery point for that for the shadow?
No,
or
that's okay.
was
With
the 20
with the
enough?
nat 20, you nailed it. Yeah.
Okay.
As far what I've seen done a lot and what I think is cool is like using Arcana checks as a way to, like, if there's ever an iffy like extension to a spell or like a way it's not typically used that maybe a sorcery point wouldn't cover, or if you're not a sorcerer, you know, you can roll an Arcana to see if you can potentially shape it to do that effect.
Cool.
Anyway, and that was a perfect example of that, because I would have probably had you roll a performance check as well, which you probably would have nailed, but like it would introduce a potential for failure.
Right.
But that was tight. That was awesome. I've been saying tight a lot lately. I need to stop that.
Indeed.
Oh, you noticed. Oh God. All right.
That was loose.
Loose. Okay, so the movement in the vat begins to not intensify, but like kind of rise to the surface a little bit, and then just barely peeking out of the top of the magma, like I'm talking like just an inch or two, You see the face of the salamander, and let me see if I can show you an image.
Really adorable, isn't he?
No, I wouldn't say that.
2 wood scritches.
Oh,
That's a salamander.
I don't know if you've ever seen them, but to me it was an axolotl.
Yep.
Just like an actual.
It was.
Okay, so it's called a salamander, but this is a little maybe more advanced form of your typical salamander.
So when you say like an inch or two,
Oh no, she's hot.
Do you mean like the horns or eyes?
Okay, so we'll say
a lot of horn above the.
We'll say she does like a float sort of thing, and like the face kind of comes just above the surface of the lava.
I see.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
And you hear her voice, and she says, "I am the Forge Keeper. Thank you for dealing with that beast." Do you seek to restart the ancient mithril forge?
Yes, we do.
Good luck. And she
I
sinks
say
back.
in-
No, I'm just kidding.
I would like to message Kyra
Uh-huh.
and ask, like, did you ever come to visit your father here? Was she here?
Right. I seem to remember him telling me that he had found a peculiar way of powering the forge. I'm going to be honest. I did not come to visit. So this is a little weird, but I'm assuming this is the power source.
I mean, this seems like a fairly standard forging aid method.
It is, but why what is the bronze device though? And why does the salamander seem
misbehave?
Well, but this isn't the forge. This is just a holding tank. Why? I don't.
You're asking too many questions. All right.
Also, this is message, so you can't hear this.
Yeah.
Sorry, wrong number.
Yeah, I would say to the salamander, what would you have us do?
Let's see. The bronze device you stand near keeps me in this vat. I am unable to leave. If I attempt to do so, it will cause serious pain. If you are able to disable the bronze device, I will have but one more request of you, and then I will help you.
Hard pass.
And
Hard
Farland's
pass.
like, is it gonna be that you're gonna kill me?
Yep. Hard pass.
Kyra says, I don't think there's any way we can restart the forge without her.
Can I do an insight check on her?
On the salamander?
No, I can't because I'm not trained in insight. Dang it!
I mean, with your passive insight, which is
Passive insight is 11.
11.
I'm proficient in insight.
Yeah, both of us are.
Yeah. We're very insightful people.
Yeah, like if Megas wanted to be like, what do you guys think? You know, of what she's saying.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Do it.
Yeah. You want me to be insightful? I can be insightful. Oh, okay. I'm gonna. Look how insightful I am.
In her voice, you detect definitely elements of gratitude. There's definitely strain and exhaustion, or not exhaustion, but like kind of frustration from being in a small place for who knows how long. But definitely the forefront emotion is gratitude. So you hear someone who seems to be genuinely entreating for your help and offering theirs.
Mm-hmm.
What do you all think? I'll pass it on to them that that's the feeling I got, was that she's being authentic.
I personally, like, regardless of the forge, I hate the idea of something being confined for hundreds of years now. However, and I'm talking to the salamander now, like, if you could give us a moment to deliberate, simply because we are not from your plane. And I would like to, of course, find a way that is amenable for everyone that would not harm either of us.
She says, I have had 500 years. Take your time.
I would like to start ritual casting Detect Magic again.
Okay, sure.
It will take 10 minutes.
No problem. Is anybody doing anything in that 10-minute period?
Falbin would be communicating that he resonates with her message, and basically, whether or not it's best for us, Falbin is ready to free her.
That's very nice.
And, we can always head back and talk to Vulcan. We didn't have to start the forge, we just had to clear it, right?
Well, your great labor is to shape the fires of the Lost Forge, which it seems to be that it is your fate to actually restart it. Not that Vulcan couldn't help, but... Magus, at the end of the 10 minutes, your ritual cast of Detect Magic comes online, and the bronze device is very magical. You sense evocation magic inside it. Kind of a what are those, like? It's like a it's a magical prepared action kind of thing. I can't remember what it's called in D&D speak. Yeah. But yeah, evocation, that's really the only magic on that item. The salamander itself is, I think elementals are magical by nature. And then that's all in this room.
I will point out earlier that we did get the rundown on salamanders, and it said that if they were not properly contained, that they could wreak havoc. So before we do anything, I'd like to see what her second request is, or what we would need to do next so that we would avoid that.
That's a fair question. Do you ask her that?
Yes.
Yeah, she says, very well, you have been more than helpful. I will tell you more. I have been in the employ of this mine, mostly inactive, for 500 years. I've been bound by a contract. The contract lies in this mine. If you are able to disable I said that last time, and able to disable. If you can disable the bronze device that traps me here, and then if you can destroy the contract that binds me, I will be free.
And what will you do with that freedom?
She says, I am able to restart this forge, and I will do so If you release me from the contract, I will do it of my own free will, because of the great service you have done me. And just to backtrack, when I said you destroy it, I should have said she would like to destroy it. She says, this accord I make with you, if you free me from this prison, I will remain for 1 year to keep this forge alight and to assist in the forging of weapons and armor for you.
Would you swear an oath to that?
Yeah, I think she said, she said accord, but yes, she is making an oath.
Well, then I suppose that's good enough for me.
Falvin's already good with it.
Yeah.
But what does Shade think?
Yeah. What does Tiger Lawyer think?
Somebody want to call him? No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure he'd be fine with it. He seems very, into personal agency and freedom and all that.
All right.
Cool. So the first step would be to destroy or disable the bronze sphere.
Do I know of any simple magical off switch to it? That I'm aware of.
Are you proficient in investigation?
I believe I am.
Okay. With Theo's help, why don't the two of you, or one of you, roll an investigation check at advantage on the sphere?
Well, I guess it doesn't matter in the order of this.
Yeah. I have a +7 to it, so.
I am proficient in investigation. I don't know what the plus is on that.
I'll go ahead and roll it, since if we're both proficient, I think I have the higher int.
Okay.
True.
$23. So you can tell that it's bronze. It's not impervious to damage. You would maybe need to try to find some stronger weapons that can do more damage to a structure, which you haven't fully, snooped around. But the investigation check reveals that this device might be able to be jammed, which may allow enough time for the salamander to escape.
Oh, I am all for the blocking of magic.
I would recommend that we change the order of things and find the contract first, then bring it back, then disable it and free her.
Okay. She would have told you that the contract, it lies... the room to the south of you, the big room, is called the blast furnace. And there is a pile kind of in the back where the Cerberus was, that the Cerberus was guarding. You go back there. You find some coinage, so y'all get ready.
Dollar bills.
There's a total of 140 gold. There is an adamantine trident, which looks like this.
Whoa.
Fancy.
And there are 6 adamantine javelins.
Wow.
And then also there is a rune-covered stone tablet that you assume is the contract.
Okay. We each get 35 gold.
Cool.
Falvin really wants the javelins for a reason.
Okay.
Oh, well, you can have it if it's for a reason. I had to say it was for a reason.
As long as you got a reason.
Yeah. Yeah, 6 reasons. Here you go. You get 6 javelins.
Yeah, so the rune-covered stone tablet, you bring it back, and you have it.
Okay. All right.
I would like to read it.
Okay. Do you hold on? Let me see what languages you speak.
Do you have your reading spectacles?
You speak. You can read half of it. It's half of it's in Celestial.
Okay.
And it basically declares that the salamander is bound to service of the Dragonlords, to serve their order in defense of the free mortal people of Thelia.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to use the boon of Mitros to read the other half.
Yeah. The other half is a language that you have probably not read before. You can assume that it's the language that this salamander speaks, which
Right.
is it's actually called Ignan. And it's basically the same text in Ignan.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I will relay that, yep, this was a contract that was made with the original order of the Dragonlords for her to serve and protect them.
Perfect. The salamander again kind of like unveils her face in the surface of the magma and just says, "Please give me the contract now, and I shall destroy it."
All right.
I'm good with it.
Yep. Here you go.
Yep.
Eat the damn tablet.
Okay. So the
And then I'm going to kind of like move back this way.
totally, yeah. She takes out an Uzi and shoots it a bunch until it shatters. No, she kind of grasps the tablet in her hands, and then her snake-like form, she kind of submerges under the lava, and you can see her kind of going into like a python sort of stance, wrapping around the tablet, and with a flex of her whole body, she crunches it into tiny bits, and then those bits begin to melt, and then there's a kind of a shockwave out from the vat, and the contract is nullified.
I'm going to message other people in the party and say, like, if we want to be put ourselves in a safe position just in case this goes wrong, I recommend the hallway toward the water.
You don't want to go down the pit?
No.
There's a dog that needs petting.
Oh, he needs so many pets after what's going to happen. But yeah, let's see if we can jam this sphere.
Cool. So with your investigation and you spending some time around it, there are some kind of like moving bits and bobs and panels, and you're kind of able to figure out the arming mechanism of it. There is not really a disarming mechanism that you're able to figure out, but there are enough works that you can tell where to jam something. And it doesn't really matter, but what are you like jamming it with? Or just disable or like,
physically?
yeah.
Probably just use a lever.
Do you want to go like snap a lever off of something?
No. We have some adamantine javelins. We could.
Just because like
It doesn't like matter who, but
it might, whatever you put in there may become stuck or destroyed. I'm just letting you know, like, this is not going to be a permanent thing. It's
I mean, we could probably come over here and find some wood scrap, right?
it's probably going to need to be stronger than wood.
Turn that.
Dang. I will be honest, like, in my like watch worker's mind, Like I'm thinking there has to be like something that's real fragile in there.
Mm-hmm.
I have a pitten.
Yeah, you can shove a pin in there. That works.
Yeah.
How many do you have?
Is one 10.
10. Okay, cool. I'm gonna destroy that bitch. You know this, right?
Yeah. Well, I figured.
You told me 10, and I'm like, nine's plenty.
Yep.
You can deal with 9.
You could do so much with 9.
No, so you find a nice little spot to jam the pitten in, and do you like you tell the salamander when you do this, and then you see the salamander kind of like spring out of the lava quickly, and land on the ground outside, and then quickly slither towards a small like hole in the. I say it's small. It's like there's like a grate. She like pops the lid off, goes into the hole, and the device remains jammed for about 30 seconds. The salamander's no longer in sight. Oh, I forgot to make her token visible. I'm so sorry. That's been there this whole time. So the salamander is... Why is this set to target? I can't... Oh, it's because I'm on the GM player window. Dives out of the vat, ducks into a little pipe, and is gone. 30 seconds go by. And then it's a good thing you guys are where you are, because the python is shredded in the guts of the device, and then you feel the heat being like sucked from the room. Like any facial hair that you guys have starts to kind of stiffen and frost over. And then the magic of the sphere is just unleashed across the entire room, and does just a blast of cold, and there's just like frost and ice covering the entire room now.
And Kyra just eats it.
Yep. Frosted
Oh,
sandwich.
sorry, I should have moved her. Yeah. What are you guys doing?
Cool.
Checking out the hole.
The what?
The hole.
I'm going to like bonfire away the layer of frost. Try and return the temperature of the room to normal.
Okay, it's gonna take a while, but
Okay.
the vat
starting at the entrance to the grate.
Yeah, totally.
In that area.
Cool. The vat helps. Let's see.
I'll be right back. She just needs it to be a little warmer.
Cool. Falvin, what are you doing?
Moving over towards this hole and seeing what I can see about it.
What is Shade doing?
He's moving up, kind of standing guard.
Megas, is your detect magic still running?
It lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay. Theo, move yourself back.
Paused. I can't move.
Oh, sorry. You kind of didn't think about it, but you noticed that the magic inherent in the bronze, the evocation magic, is still active. It hasn't dissipated. And you begin to feel that same cold being drawn out of the room. Let's see. Everyone will have... can take a reaction and try to move their speed to get out of the room.
Yes.
Push it into the vat. Push it into the vat.
It's very big and made of bronze.
With that,
And I'm not Atlas.
we is a move.
Falvin, you barely get out of the room in time before
I would also move little Rue out of there, but I can't see him right now.
Oh, okay. Before the same cold blast happens again, covers the room in frost. That was about a 30-second gap between blasts.
Okay.
Cool. Then I would be like, "Hey, Magus, is it dead?"
It's not.
Can you do something
It's
about this?
Still going.
It's still going.
Does it fit in a bag of holding? Put it in there. I want that.
It's too big.
I want it.
So basically, it's consumed the Python, but the mechanism that we were trying to damage.
The
Is
Python
still
kept
visible?
it. The Python kept it from activating immediately when the salamander left the vat, but eventually, its mechanisms were able to force its way through the Python, and now it's just going off on repeat.
Cool. So it's time to destroy.
Either that or just maneuver around it.
Theo, do you have Thunderwave?
I have it, but it's. I don't know if I ever got it back if we did a long rest. It's not in my list of spells, so.
Okay.
Thunderwave only affects creatures and unsecured objects. So,
We do have mending, but I think we want the opposite of mending.
Right. Yeah.
you want bending.
Yeah, bending.
It goes
Well.
again.
How well secured is it to the ground?
It is, the legs are attached to it, but the legs are not attached to the ground. It is sitting on the ground.
Okay. How high above? So how high off the ground is it? I'm trying to get an idea for like its center of mass versus the 3-foot high walls of the.
We'll say it's sitting about a foot off the ground.
Oh, guys, I had a great idea. Why don't we roll it down the hole and hit the Cerberus on his way down?
I love this idea.
So you're gonna have to manage the whole, like, every 30 seconds it goes off.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I will warn people when with detect magic when it's going to happen again.
So-
But yes.
so freaking cool. Yeah, totally.
This is a part of your punishment. You still have your transfiguration on, right?
It lasts for an hour. Yeah.
So, okay.
Your voice would be like, take this.
So we'll say this will be like a skill challenge kind of thing where you guys are going to have to make a group strength check in between activations and be able to retreat out of its radius, which it consumes the entire room in front of it. So we'll say it is basically like a thunder wave from it out to the rest of the room. So
So we stay behind the spigot.
you know where the spigot is. So if you're able to keep the spigot facing away from you, which rolling it, will be interesting, but yeah, this is some Calvin ball. We're gonna play with it.
Yep.
Okay, so the plan, if I'm understanding you right, is to tip it over onto its side and then roll it down this tunnel, right?
Yep.
In order to roll it out the same way the Cerberus left. Okay, so we'll do, since it's very big and very heavy, we'll just have all of you roll a strength check. If half of you get 15 or higher, then then you will have knocked it over. We'll say the strength check will be lower once it's off its legs. At this point, that's you guys feel it getting cold again, and you back out, and it goes and it's still on its legs. So we'll do this again. Everybody roll strength checks again, unless you can think of a way that you might be able to assist it in.
Use some of those javelins as levers.
Sounds physicsy. Yeah, whoever's using a javelin. You guys have 6 javelins, so everybody roll at advantage. This isn't really going to help rolling it, but it will help maybe tip it. Okay, so that's a 1 success.
Oh, wait.
Oh, whoops. I got a 16 on that.
You got a 16. Theo, I need one more roll from you. Because you're going to be the... Okay. That's more than half of you passed. So you're able to tip it off of its legs. It lands on the ground. I'm assuming you guys do it in such a way so that the mouth is still facing away from you.
That's the plan.
Cool. And it goes as you guys are back in this hallway. And you rush forward to get it rolling again. Strength checks again. No advantage from the javelins unless you can think of another way you'd have advantage. And the DC will be 12. So that's 1 success from Theo. Success from Magus. Barely made it from
I am kind of shifted right now.
You're Megan. Oh, that's great. No, okay. So 3 of you pass. You're able to roll it. We'll say you roll it. Wow, I was trying to move it like it's a token. It's not a token, because it's just part of the map. We'll just draw a little circle, and you're able to move it 30 feet. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So you move it into kind of the middle of the next room. All right. So you see the salamander like pop her head up in the. There's a little tube or a pipe in the middle of the room, and she says, "I'm sorry. What are you doing?" Duck. Okay. Yes.
We'll be back.
She ducks back into the thing. Yeah, go ahead and roll more strength checks.
Don't mind us.
That's 1 from Theo. Yeah, okay, barely made it, but that's 3 successes. And you guys move it another 30 feet, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
I think that round it was just Theo and Shade that succeeded.
Oh, I thought I saw 3 12s.
You're seeing the prior.
Yep. Okay. So you get it, we'll say half the distance. And at this point, I'm realizing that this is one of those things where it's just going to take longer, but you will eventually succeed. Yeah. So I'll say that your plan is good enough that you do end up pushing it all the way to the fantastically deep pit. And you guys,
is the pit a ramp down, or is it just a hole?
Nope, it's a sheer drop off.
Sheer drop off.
Poor puppers.
Do you have any words you want to shout out?
I was gonna ask if you guys had any any last words.
Lutheria.
As Lutheria, as we push it over, I will shout down, "Stop dawdling!"
Is that a pun? I don't get it.
You just like speed along. It's great.
It's great. Cool. You roll the bronze mechanism off the ledge. This is I never once considered this as a possible conclusion to this puzzle. And just in time, it goes over the edge and then and kind of coats the ancient like wood supports and chains in a layer of frost, and then you just hear it fall, and then kind of it's like bouncing off the walls, and then every now and then you hear as it continues to go. You never hear a final impact. You guys wait a while.
It's gonna be fun for a while.
So yeah, you solved my my ice ball puzzle.
And I will come back and I will say down into the grate in primordial.
Okay. Yep.
It's like, all right, we have disposed of the sphere.
She sticks her head up and says, "What?"
Oh, if she doesn't speak primordial, I'll just say it again in common.
Oh, yes. That's kind of insulting. I'm just kidding. It's
the language of the elementals.
I speak, well, according to my character sheet, I speak Ignan. I don't know. Anyway, she emerges, slithers out from the pipe, and kind of looks around at the room, and kind of a sense of like familiarity and nostalgia in a way. Like she spent a lot of time in this room, and it's been quite a while since she's been out of the vat. And she gives a gracious bow to all of you, and just says, "You have my sincere thanks, and in accordance with the oath we have sworn together, I shall begin my work. Are you prepared to relight the forges?"
Yes. Yes, we are.
As long as it's not going to ignite my skin in fire.
Regardless, we will light it.
Wait a minute.
Just
Wait a
kidding,
minute.
no.
She says, "If you would please take positions about the forge." And she's kind of like gesturing to, all the spots around the room that would contain fire.
Get to my workstation. How much am I getting paid an hour on this?
Me not
we
killing
just
you.
recovered 35 gold each, and I think 1 gold is considered a craftsman's day's work. So
That's true.
Oh, okay.
Keep.
Paid a month in advance.
That's always good to remember. Okay, so she kind of instructs you to take whatever instrument you prefer, whether that is a tool or a weapon or a focus or your hand or whatever, and to place it atop the forge where you are.
When you say forge, you mean the metal bits, not the magma that's not hot?
So the map, these are empty of magma currently.
Okay, then I'll just use my hand.
Cool. All right.
yeah, she mentions focus, and Magus looks to his armband and then just sticks his hand over.
Cool. So you guys all assume the position, and the underglow of her form begins to like radiate and get hot and really, really, really hot. And you can feel whether it's like a weapon that you're using or like a hammer or your hand, that begins to heat up, but not in pain. You feel, you see your hand glow, and you can see your bones through your skin, and you can feel the steel, or not steel, the mithril under your hand begin to warm, and that warmth begins to radiate as the entire basin heats up, and the dragons, the heads of the dragons above the forge, they begin to warm and to heat and to change color, and eventually you can hear that same sort of sound that you heard in the elevator, where you hear liquid moving, and after about 30 seconds, the heads of the dragons begin to glow brightly and begin to dump lava, like molten magma, into the basins below, and they flow, and the basin kind of recirculates. So it's always flowing out of the dragon's mouths, but never overflowing. And your hand begins to cool. You're uninjured, and she says, "Well done. You have done it." Together we have done it. Kyra is very, very happy. She is smiling ear to ear. She gives like a, I knew you'd do it! Yay! Ah, that's step 2! One more!
Do you want to go tell your father?
I we'll go together, it's okay.
I mean, I think we need to take a long rest. And I think you can move faster than we can.
Oh, you want to wait? Okay.
Like, I would like to be able to welcome him here.
I mean, we have a party we need to get to, so...
Yeah.
You sure you want to wait here?
Have you
That is
forgotten?
true.
Yeah. I mean, the reason we rushed this was so that we could go
I like how
drinking.
everybody but Megas is like, party! Yeah. What are you guys feeling right now? Because this is kind of the, this was the production facility for the wartime efforts of the Dragonlords centuries ago. And these forges have been cold for 500 years, and you were the first to ignite them. And in a sense, you are using them for that same purpose. This is like wartime is coming. How are you feeling?
Well, Theo's feeling like a kid in a candy shop. I mean, this is some high quality tools and materials that you could make out of this. So he's excited once Vulcan gets back in here to see what two of them can come up with.
Sweet.
For sure.
Yeah. Magus, from Magus's perspective, it isn't done yet. It's like his goal isn't to relight the forge. His goal is to get Vulcan back into the forge.
Sure. Yeah. That makes sense. How about Falbin? You're definitely outside your. I mean, this is not a Falbin-y place to be.
Yeah. I mean, Falbin feels joy, but primarily from the ear-to-ear grin that Shade is displaying. You know, there's not kind of himself that he's feeling joy. You know, this is nice, but it's not why he's here. And Shade, though, I don't know. It's almost like he remembers something, and there's just something at a deeper level that he's feeling a connection with, and joy that's coming back to life.
Cool. Yeah. Bold of you to roleplay a player who's not here. I love it though. That is very on brand for Shade. Absolutely. Actually, he asked me the other day, like, would I recognize anything here? And I was like, I had to think about it, because I was like, you were a Dragonlord, but it doesn't mean necessarily that you spent time like in the blacksmith shop where you were a soldier. You were out in the field mostly. So I think it is kind of a moment of pride for him too, where he this is a legendary place, and for him it was not that long ago, in his mind.
And for Shade, he's always had a strong connection to weapons and their brilliance and the level of excellence that could be achieved, and to know that now there exists again a place that built the legendary weapons is just joyous.
Yeah. For anybody who appreciates a good blade, this is where they make the best ones. So yeah, that's accurate. Cool. So Megas, it seems like your opinion is like wait here, have Kyra go fetch Vulcan so that y'all can welcome him together.
Yeah, and just like kind of thinking through like time and travel distance. Like, yes, he wants to get back to the party, but his purpose for being here, like he definitely wants to see Vulcan return to the Forge.
Yeah.
And so it's either wait here for Vulcan to come back, or go to Astoria, get Vulcan, and go back, and then return to Astoria.
Yes,
totally.
That one, we could party our success and then see the look on his face.
Well, it's only so Nora's sacrifice was 2 days ago. So you guys have until what you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 5 more days until the end of the celebration. So you have time because it took less than a day. It took less than a day for you guys to get
just in case nothing comes up the pit.
Exactly. Yeah, you're here to ensure. I don't know why that noise like legit scared me. I kind of jumped.
So that's Megas's vote.
Okay. Does anybody?
We could open the waterfall, and I'm sure that they could get back faster with a boat. Right? Maybe
the world map is a little like non-specific when it comes to exactly where the Mithril Forge is, but it makes sense that there would be a river-ish thing leading to it, but the river doesn't come from Astoria. The river comes from down south, like closer to Mitros.
Oh, I see.
So
I see.
the overland route is probably the best. By the way, the salamander tells you how to operate the elevator.
Yay!
What's the safe word?
There is a safe word, and it is the draconic word for friend.
Oh.
So tell me this: is it better than what is in the book, which is the draconic word for dragon?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. As long as it's better than that,
Yes.
I'm fine with it being cheesy. Draconic for dragon? Are you serious? Anyway, I didn't have time to.
This is kind of like Khazad-dûm.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
Roaring fires, malt beer. Yeah. Ripe meat
I would
off the
also
bone.
ask the salamander's name if we haven't learned that already.
Sally.
Sally the salamander.
Shit. She goes by the Forge Keeper, but
Alexandria, definitely.
Let's see. Let me see if I can find one. Fantasy. Elemental names. Let's see. We need a fire one. That's stupid. That's stupid. Novus? That's kind of cool. Yeah, we'll go with Novus. Her name is Novus.
Right. Forge Keeper Novus.
Forge Keeper Novus.
Forge Keeper Novus.
Forge Keeper Novus.
Yep.
All right. Falbin Shade. I think Theo is wanting to go back to Astoria, and Megas is wanting to wait here for Vulcan. What do you all think?
Well, I mean, if it's just her that's going back, I'm sure she can fly at the speed of sound, so I wouldn't mind if it was just Kyra and it was just gonna be quick.
She is very fast.
Falbin doesn't mind missing another day at the party because it might just be him trying to petrify rats again.
Totally.
He's actually looking for any way not to be there.
Yeah, totally. So Kyra says, "All right, well, looks like you're all in agreement. I wish you could be there to see his face when I tell him he's going to flip. Anyway, I'll be back in a flash. Probably sometime tomorrow. He's a little slower than I am.
He's got small legs.
He does have very. Oh, it's like when you go to the grocery store with your grandmother and.
Maybe you could give him a piggyback ride.
Oh, I would never. He would never let me.
Well, I think for the forge, he just might.
You know, you want to bet on that?
No.
Okay. All right, I'll be back in a flash. And she goes to the right towards where the dock is, and you guys lose sight of her.
Yeah.
He's gonna.
Magus will occupy his time just trying to tidy things up a little bit. He's not the strongest person, but
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll help get some tools in the places that they should be, and cleaning up some of the magma that was on the floor.
I'm putting a note that you guys restarted the Mithril Forge on Sidios the 18th, 2022.
That's right.
We'll make that a holiday. We'll call it something else
Year of
later.
the Dragon.
Yep.
Bookkeeping thing.
Yeah.
I can't find adamantine javelins or
You
trident?
might have to
Hand wheel it?
customize a javelin.
Okay.
You can
Not really sure how to do that, but
you can just add a regular javelin and then just change the name and the add the specific effects for. I mean, there's nothing like. It just means that when you're attacking, hold on. A javelin, I believe, is a light weapon. So
I mean, I could just steal this description from the adamantine short sword I have.
yeah, totally. It'd be
it's roughly
accurate. Exactly that. So, cool. Did you guys want to explore the storeroom that you didn't look at earlier?
Absolutely.
You don't have to move your tokens if you don't want to, but you dig around in there and let's see. We'll say, Magus, you got in there quick enough with your detect magic to find a mithril xiphos, which is like a gladiator, like a gladius sword, like those short swords that like,
Yep.
yeah. So it's mechanically. Hold on, let me double check because some of them are like they're mithril daggers, but they have the stats of short swords. So the player's guide is like a little wonky on that. But let me just double check that. And then we'll RP Vulcan coming back, and then we'll wrap up. Xiphos. It is a. Okay. It is technically a dagger. So it is a +1. Here, I'll just actually it has an interesting effect, and I'm gonna post this in the chat here. So the Xiphos, the Mithril Forged Dagger, has a straight leaf-shaped blade, which is excellent for thrusting and piercing between shields in phalanx formations. Attacks made with this weapon have +1 to attack and damage. When you make an attack, you ignore any AC that the enemy gains from wielding a shield, which is interesting.
Ooh.
So,
Sounds like a Falbin.
From an RP perspective,
Yeah.
the short sword that Magus wields is a Xiphos.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So he would be eyeing this one.
Oh, yeah.
That seems like a good fit.
Although, I mean, you've had some pretty good luck with the sword you have.
Well, but
now.
your sword you have is not magical.
Oh.
Correct.
So this would be a good way for you to have or for Magus to have a magical martial weapon.
Well, I vote for him to get it then.
And also it kind of fits your like duelist vibe that you've gone for. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So do you guys take a long rest in here? Where do you rest?
Probably in one of the storerooms.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd probably come over to the water area and maybe,
Okay.
fall asleep to the sound of the water flowing by.
Anything you guys want to do in the about a day that you have?
Just sleep, surf YouTube.
Totally.
Totally.
Magus would RP spar with Shade with his newfound weaponry.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It's interesting how none of you really have shield builds at all. Felt like in our game everybody wielded shields. Anyway, so
do we have a long rest?
you have a long rest,
Restful.
And I take it.
and I will advance the date because it is the next day now.
And I take it.
Are you taking it?
You taking it?
Cool, look at that. And I get Hope's End back.
Wow, just for sleeping.
Just for sleeping.
Wow.
Interesting. It really recharges after a long rest, specifically.
So, close to the midday-ish, whatever you guys are up to, the salamander is just kind of maintaining the forge, and you guys are sparring or whatever, and you hear the elevator call, and it was down on your level. The elevator begins to, you hear the doors open and shut, and then it starts to move up, and you can assume that somebody has called the elevator from the upper floor, and then it comes back down, and you hear running, and it's not Kyra's boots, it's Volcan, and I should have his token because I forgot it. Volcan. Oh, I'm dropping him onto the wrong thing. Volcan sprints into view and goes, "You did it! You did it! You! Oh, I'm back, baby! Oh, I missed you so much." He's just walking around to all the walls and just oh, it's so good to be. Oh my god! Oh, right, this whole. Oops. Feel a little bad about this. Okay. Oh, this. Oh, the orb is gone. Where is it?
Yeah, I actually don't know what happened to that. It's gone when I got here.
Wait, where is it?
That's
You said
We sent it as a depth charge to Letheria.
you did not. Oh, was this Kyra's idea? That's some, or was this just your genius?
I think that was Theo.
Oh, Theo, he goes to hug you. Do you accept a hug from Volcan?
Oh, sure.
Okay, he
Papa V.
he
Sure.
squeezes you so tight, and he's warm. He's unnaturally warm. He's like that thing is. It's probably hit the bottom by now, but I hope it hit her right on her fucking skull. I am so proud of you right now. We are gonna build the best future together? You have no idea. Okay, what am I doing in here? This is the boring room. I need to go into the fun room. And he rushes into the and he stops when he sees what did we call her?
Novus.
Novus.
He kind of stops, and his big ol' grin kind of goes away, and he says, "Oh, right. I forgot. Hello." And she just kind of looks at him sternly, and they don't speak. They just kind of stare at each other for about 20 seconds. And Kyra like sneaks up behind Volcan and says, Dad, you might want to just apologize. Just say you're sorry. And he's like, I don't know. She's like, it's fine. She'll accept, I think. My friends here have really warmed her up. And you can tell she's kind of waiting expectantly, the salamander. And Vulcan like shuffles his feet and looks down on the ground, and then he goes into a deep prostrated bow, like hands on the ground, on his knees, and hair kind of falling over his face, and he says, I'm really, really sorry. We were at war, and I didn't see any other way to get our efforts to where they needed to be, and I took you from your home, and you signed a contract, but we all know around here they're usually less than willingly made, and I bound you here in service of a world that you have no claim to, you don't deserve to be here, and yet you remain. Why? You could have returned to the elemental plane right away. Why are you still here? And she says, I have had much time to think about my incarceration here. And the nobility and bravery and goodness of heart of these that you call friends and compatriots has stirred me to kindness. And I do this not for you, but because if there is a world where good people like this are snuffed out by evil, and there's a chance that I could allow that evil to flourish by a brief moment of service, then it is an easy choice for me. But again, I do it not for you. In fact, I hold an extreme grudge against you. And I realize we are going to be working together for the next year, and it is going to be uncomfortable, and I'm going to guilt you about this incessantly. And he's just kind of nodding as he looks at the ground. Yep, totally fair. But she approaches him, and she reaches out a hand, and it's like a fiery hand. Like any of you grasping it would take damage. But he stands up, he takes his glove off, and barehanded shakes her hand. And they both smirk a little. And I think that's where we'll end our session. So.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hooray!
Victory!
Well, Megas, that was your dream.
Yeah, and I don't know if there was he would have more RP stuff to say to Kyra, but we can either do that now or
you can say
at
it.
the beginning of next
You can
time.
say it. That's just all I have. I realize I didn't give you a chance to respond.
Oh. Well, he would kind of wait until Vulcan goes and starts. I assume he's going to, after the dealing with Novus, is just going to start tending toward the forge and
Yeah, totally.
And Magus is going to say to Kyra, "Speak to Shade about honor and duty, but this is why I am fighting. I want to see the people of Thelia returned to enjoying the thrill of life. I want to see the gods reach their potential. I want to see farmers celebrating the harvest. I want to see dragons soaring. I want to see you dance without worry."
You're a man of vision, Magus. And as are all of you. And I think together we can have a chance at that vision. Good speech.
Woo!
Cool. Well, yeah, that's a big ol' step for you guys. Well done. The next labor is the necropolis at Telemoc, and
Nope. The next labor is partying.
it's partying. Yeah.
It's party labor.
So returning to Astoria and partying, and then necropolis. Cool. Yeah. Theo, did you want to open the waterfall?
Yes, I did. I will pull that lever.
Cool. Yeah, you go over. It's very heavy, and it almost lifts you off the ground as you put your full weight into driving the lever down.
Do you just pull it, or do you check for anything? Or...
No, I just pull it. I just go for it.
You've had 18 hours to think about pulling this lever.
Yep. I have been restraining myself. That's why I came over here to relax. I just was constantly thinking about pulling that lever.
Amazing. Yeah, with a satisfying kerchunk, the lever flips into the downward position, and it's almost as if you can feel the whole mountain reorganizing itself above you. It's like just this intense, mega-sized, complicated mechanism that runs through the stone, and you rush outside to look at the waterfall, and it's just this solid curtain in front of you, and then you can see a gap in the water form, kind of from the top down, and then it expands and expands and widens to a width of about 100 feet, and you have parted the Falls of Archelon for the first time in 500 years.
Which I will say, we're now open.
Okay, now we're done. That's a good point to end on. Oh, God.